Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today's video is just going to be a quick update on what is happening within the car market now that we have finished the sales month of March. With that being said, as always, if you're going to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So the updates in today's video are not all that exciting. So first off, Cox Automotive a few days ago posted their forecast for the year in terms of volume, and part of that forecast was new cars, and then part of it was used cars. On used cars, they said that they think there's going to be about 36 million sold this year, and new cars about 15.7 million sold. Again, prior to the pandemic, the used car market was close to like 40 million units per year, and the new car market was around the 17 million unit range, which again, as we have seen over the last couple of years, means that the car market today is going to be smaller than what it was in the past. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it is all bad news for the car market and that it's all bad news for dealerships, because at the same time that volume is lower than what it has been historically, it's continuing to creep up, and the demand is interesting with where it has been placed. So within the new car market, affordable cars are still selling quite well. That's where you see the lowest day supplies, those cars that are sub $30,000. And well, another thing about that sub $30,000 category is there are fewer and fewer options available, and that's just kind of a sign of the times. And then when it comes to cars that are more expensive than that, it really just depends. Like, you look at Toyota and they are still pretty much selling out of everything. Same thing with Lexus. And when I say selling out, they do have some inventory available at, dealer lots, but that inventory is much more sparse compared to what you see with other manufacturers, like some of the domestic manufacturers. And so it's going to be a case-by-case basis once you get outside of those affordable cars. And the thing that's funny is the manufacturers that seem to be doing the best are manufacturers that offer affordable cars, and they're not only selling those affordable cars, but they're also selling the more expensive cars. So Toyota, they have cars under $30,000, and they're also selling the cars that are over that. Honda has cars under $30,000, and they're also selling the ones that are over that as well. It's kind of like a little bit of a trend where if you have the affordable cars, then it attracts people to buy the more expensive stuff as well. But it's a lot deeper than that, right? Brand reputation, there's a lot more that goes into that. But that's also an interesting trend that I have noticed. And then we still have the trend on the higher price tag cars, of cars selling well if they are more rare or if they have some sort of enthusiast base behind them. So like Ford Raptors, those are still selling, for example, and Porsches, those are still selling. But the higher volume stuff, I shouldn't say higher volume, the more luxury based stuff that always has a high price but doesn't necessarily have a dedicated enthusiast base. So just think like Mercedes S-Class, for example. Those have definitely slowed down when it comes to the sales pace. So yeah, the new car market, a little bit all over the place, but nothing too crazy. Now with the used car market, things have just heated up all over the place. So with the used car market, we've talked about how inventory is relatively sparse, but now there's even more demand. And so inventory is going to become even more sparse as time goes on. But there's not really any particular segment that's doing great outside of affordable cars. Affordable cars across the board are always doing well. But yeah, used cars are they're selling. It's crazy how many people are going in and buying used cars. I shouldn't say it's crazy because the affordability has improved quite a bit. And so what this means is there's a lot more market strength than what a lot of people were assuming. Everyone thought that with where the economy is currently, with where interest rates are, that you would see a lot more pullback in the market. And that's not what's happening. We're seeing quite a bit of buying. And yes, automakers have released more discounts on new cars. And yes, used cars have, gone down in valuation quite a bit over the last year. But the used car values haven't gone down by nearly as much as you'd think, right? They're at $26,000 for the average used car price. And the new car discounts are still lower than what they were prior to the pandemic. Yes, you have some outlier manufacturers like, Stellantis, for example, that has some discounts that are bigger than what they were prior to the pandemic on certain vehicles. But the industry norm is that there is still less discount. And so, yeah, it's just a really interesting market moving forward. And something that I want to mention to cap things off this video is the end of this year will be really telling, for the car market moving into the next couple of years, because, we have an election at the end of this year. That always rocks the boat quite a bit. And there's also been some talk that interest rates might go down, starting in the summer, and then they might go down even more later this year. And so depending on what happens with interest rates in the election, I mean, that is going to do a lot. I'm not, this isn't a political channel, so I'm not going to talk too much there, but let's just say a certain outcome happens there that is positive, right? Everyone feels good about the outcome. Then you have that plus lower interest rates. And I mean, you could see car volume just boom, go right through, right? Because if people feel good about the economy and they see that money is cheaper, well, then the buying frenzy starts. So let me know what you think about this whole situation. I'll see you.